Are you struggling with AWS Mobile HUD and AWS SNS? You're not alone. Today, we're diving into a common issue where the push manager registers successfully, but no endpoint is created. Let's get to the bottom of this together. I totally understand how frustrating it can be when everything seems to be set up correctly, yet something crucial is missing. This is a common scenario for many developers working with AWS services. Here's the specific situation we're addressing. A user has successfully created a P12 Universal Certificate, set up resources on AWS SNS, and integrated the necessary code into their project. However, despite the push manager registering successfully, no endpoint is created on AWS SNS. Sound familiar? Let's explore this together. So, what could be causing this issue? It seems like the registration process is working, but there might be a disconnect between the app's environment and AWS SNS. Let's break down the potential reasons for this problem. And stick around, I have some troubleshooting tips at the end that could help you resolve this issue once and for all. First, the user should verify that the application is correctly configured to use the correct environment for AWS SNS. Since the log shows a release platform ARN, it's essential to ensure that the app is set to use the correct development or sandbox environment. Next, the user should check the permissions associated with the AWS SNS service. It's crucial to ensure that the application has the necessary permissions to create endpoints. After confirming the permissions, the user should review the push notification settings in the AWS console. This includes checking the application settings and ensuring that the correct certificate is uploaded. Finally, if the endpoint is still not created, the user can enable detailed logging for AWS SNS. This will help identify any issues during the registration process. Fun fact, did you know that AWS SNS can handle millions of messages per second? That's a lot of notifications, but even the best systems can have hiccups. Now let's look at the answers provided by other users. An alternative solution suggests checking the documentation and GitHub for the issue. The user points out that you need to use AWS Create Platform Endpoint input, which might be missing in your implementation. Additionally, you should retrieve the device token from the DidRegister for remote notifications method and register it with AWS SNS. The user provides a code snippet that demonstrates how to handle the device token and create a platform endpoint. They emphasize the importance of trimming the device token and replacing unwanted characters before sending it to AWS SNS. Finally, the user encourages you to update them on your progress and wishes you good luck with the implementation. That wraps up that answer. Let's move on to another one. An alternative solution was provided by another user who identified the issue as missing privileges on AWS Mobile Hub. They noted that no clear error message was generated, which made troubleshooting difficult. To resolve the issue, they recommended adding the policy Amazon SNS Full Access. This adjustment allowed the endpoint to be created successfully. Here's a pro tip. Always keep your AWS SDK and libraries up to date. This can prevent many issues and ensure you're using the latest features and fixes. And there you have it. With these troubleshooting steps, you should be on your way to resolving the endpoint issue with AWS SNS. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe for more tips and tricks.